Hey guys, just thought I'd throw out a quick update on everything I spoke about on Wednesday. So I finally got my period today, so that ended up being a 39-day cycle, which was interesting. So it'll be interesting to see if all my cycles are going to be 39 days. I've not heard of that at all that I can think of. But anyway, so that's finally happened. And we'll see what October brings. I think we'll probably just still try for in October anyhow, and just go by the Sheddles method instead of the Chinese gender calendar as well. We're up to day 6 of the keto diet, and so my weigh-in on Monday was 66.2 kilos. And I weighed myself this morning and I was 64.8 kilos. So that's 1.4 kilo loss in 6 days. So I'm pretty happy with that. In terms of what we've been eating, because we're still not sure what we know sort of what we can and can't have, but just working out our percentages for the day of protein, carbs, and fats. It's just been easier to just stick to the same things. So I've been having either bacon, eggs, and avocado for breakfast, or a scrambled egg mix with the 2 eggs, spinach, mushroom, cheese, garlic, Himalayan rock salt, and cream, and it's cooked in butter. And that fills me up heaps, and so pretty much I've been eating twice a day because I've just been so full, and also trying to find time. At this stage I'm finding it a little bit difficult because I already wasn't eating great before this, because I just had a hard time finding time for myself to eat properly. So, when I'd normally dive for something easy like a banana or something, I can't do that now. So when I have been wanting something easy, I pretty much go for... I've been making up a mix of a bit of tuna, a lot of avo, some mayo, and some grated cheese, and LSA mix. And I've been putting that in a bowl and mixing that up and eating that, and it's really delicious. So, well, I find it yum anyway. I know it's not to everyone's taste. So that's what I've been eating if I'm just trying to race around and get something in me quick, because I'm not really good at setting time aside for myself to eat. So that's that. And coffee, I've swapped. I was having coffee as like a teaspoon and a half of Milo plus my teaspoon of coffee, and then most of a teaspoon of sugar, so I had to cut that out. So it's now just a teaspoon of coffee, hot water obviously, and topping it off with full fat cream. And then at night, if I haven't had enough calories or what have you, I add like a little chunk of butter into that as well. So and Terry's been doing the same sort of thing. For dinner, we've sort of been running off the fly here because we're still, as I said, still trying to figure it all out. So for dinner, like last night for example, Terry used up the extra bacon that we had in the fridge, cheese, garlic, onion, I think that was it, cheese, garlic, onion, and he fried that up, rolled it into balls and wrapped it in mince, and then put that in the oven, and we had that with boiled eggs, and that was really tasty, which was awesome. Hello, darling. No, I just poked myself in the eye. So, yeah, but we have not had any vegetables this week, which is terrible. And we're a big veggie eating family, so it's really, really unusual for us. And I'm feeling a little bit out of sorts from that. But tomorrow we'll probably throw veggies back in there. It's just been a lot easier to just stick to the same thing. So we did the calculations on the protein, the carbs, and the fat breakdown, and what that would come from what we were already eating, and so it just seemed easy just to keep doing that because it was keeping us on par. So hopefully this next week coming we might step out a little bit, but also given that I'm starting work this week, I don't know if I will. We'll just have to see how that goes. And I've got progress pics too, but they're not going to be really worthwhile at this stage. I took pics and put them on the A&E Mummy Facebook page when I first decided I was going to share that, but I hadn't really done anything on my weight since then, so that was a little bit pointless. So, I mean, when I first started to want to lose weight, I got myself up to 69.2 kilos, I think. Yeah, 69.2 kilos I was when I was like, alright, I've got to do something about this. But I just have been running myself silly with everything, so I haven't really left time for myself in terms of that. So when I took the photos on the page, I think I'd probably already lost a little over a kilo. So I have taken more progress photos today, but I don't think that'll make much of a difference. But I will probably take photos maybe monthly or fortnightly, I'm not too sure, but we'll do that anyway. And Terry's actually lost nearly 2.5 kilos already off the diet, doing the same thing, so that's pretty cool. He's also intermittently fasting, so he doesn't eat until anywhere between, oh darling, you got something in your eye, oh honey, show mama, good boy. Between like 1 and 4 in the afternoon, so he pretty much has just one meal a day. But that's his thing. I sometimes accidentally intermittently fast because I just find that I'm not, by the time I get the kids breakfast, get everyone showered and dressed and ready and stuff, that I just pretty much forgotten about myself. So sometimes I do that, and I'm pretty much sticking to 2 meals a day anyway, sometimes only 1, so it's pretty much accidentally happening anyhow. We're probably going to buy some pH strips. Some sites say they're pretty well pointless and others say it's a good idea, so we'll probably just get some anyhow. But I think that's about it for that one. But no, you know what, we are finding it actually really good. It's been pretty easy. The only thing, as I said, is I can't just, when I'm hungry or when I want something to eat, is just dive straight into having, like something quick, like grabbing a banana or something like that. So that's cool. But in terms of adjustment, it's been not that much different from what I was already doing. I mean, it is different, but I'm still, the amount of meals I'm having and all that sort of thing, I guess, isn't that much different. So I'm kind of enjoying it. It's so foreign to me because my dad had high cholesterol when I was a kid, and we did the whole, low-fat milk and all that sort of thing. So it's really foreign to jump into high fat, because experts have been telling us for years to do the opposite of that. So, but we're already seeing results, which I wasn't expecting. There was a time there when I had decided to try and lose weight, and I was on the cross trainer every day and stuff like that, and it wasn't really budging. So the fact that I've been doing nothing different for the last 6 days but my eating is probably a good indication that it's making a difference. Even if it is just water weight, obviously the lack of carbs is helping there. I will reintroduce carbs when I come to muscle building, because I like carbs, and because when I was at my fittest, well, both times when I was doing military training, I was eating carbs, and I was the fittest I'd ever been. And then when I lost all the weight after eating, I was eating carbs too, and I was quite fit then as well. So yeah, but for now I'm happy with how this diet's going and with what's involved. It's doing pretty well, and it suits me pretty well. So the other day I talked about going back to work, so I'm supposed to start back on Tuesday. I haven't heard from my new boss to be yet about my shifts, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I'll have to contact her and find out. But I was thinking on it last night, and I was picturing in my head, just the walking into my work and working, and I don't know what it was, but it really set me off. I know what it is, but it was really frustrating. It actually nearly had me in tears, the anxiety, because it's really hard for me to think about being away from the kids. Not that I'm one of those like clingy, needy parents. I mean, I am, but I feel like that's because I've sort of had to be. But, you know, even when you know they're in safe hands, it's still hard to think about being away from them, and not just the thought of, it's not just okay, we're going out for a night, for a couple hours, which is pretty much the most I've been away from Noah, and that sort of thing, and having this time back again with Eden since I've been off work has made it difficult to think that I won't be here with her constantly as well. But to know that it's going to be a consistent thing, that 3 nights a week and a lunchtime in a week, I'm going to be away from them. And it doesn't really sound like much, and it isn't really, you know, like once I go, the nighttime job, they'd only be awake for about 2.5 hours of me being gone anyway, but it's just so, I don't even know how to explain it. I guess anyone that has anxiety knows, like I can feel it in my heart, you know, my chest, and it just tightens, and all of a sudden I have this ridiculous fear that, I can't even explain it. It's just a ridiculous fear that, not that anything will happen. I might miss out on something with them. They might need me, missing them. You know, and I've been back to work. I went back to work with Eden, and I had to go back with anxiety. It was really hard in the first few months. I had a lot of sick days because I just couldn't bring myself to go. But, you know, I know that it's so important for them right now to get... we can be fine if I don't go back to work, but it will be so much better for the whole family if I go back to work and smash out some of these goals a lot sooner than we would if I stayed home. And, you know, if I think of it in only a year, it seems like such a short time, but I tell my anxiety that. I don't know why it's so hard. I had it all sorted out in my mind and told myself that this was great and it was going to be okay and all that, and it just... I don't know if maybe the fact that I'm not going back to my store that I was at before I left to have Noah. I'm going back to my very original store from 10 years ago. I think it was 10... No, not 10 years ago. So, maybe that's what's worrying me. I don't know. I think I would feel more confident going back to the store I left from before Noah, but it's further away, which means more fuel money and more time spent travelling, so it probably won't work. I mean, it would take me speeding and trying to get there in 15 minutes for that to work in terms of time frame, and then I'll be using more fuel anyway, which doesn't really matter, but I just thought, you know, if I'm going to go into this, I'd rather go full throttle at it and get as far as I can, as fast as I can, and be home with the kids. So that's pretty much what that is. I don't know how I'm going to go come Tuesday, but fingers crossed. Anyway, we've got to head off and walk the dog before it gets too dark and get some dinner on for the grubs, and I'll pop on again soon, I guess. Bye.